7 stages of a relationship.
Stage 6, crisis.
Hi, I'm Bec from Be Free Emotional Fitness Training, and I support women and girls to become emotionally stronger.
And I'm Vern from Move Forward Mentoring, and I specialise in male mentoring, helping boys and men find their passion, speak from their heart, and build better relationships.
And together we are Rekindling Relationships. We work with couples through mentoring sessions as well as facilitating communication and creative workshops to build deeper connections.
Welcome to our podcast, designed to help you strengthen and bring more fun into your partnership, as well as create a more loving, healthy, and strong connection.
Hey everyone.
Hey everyone. So we're up to stage 6, crisis.
It's an interesting one, this
It's
one.
a really interesting one, and we've been just discussing the idea, behind midlife crisis or crisis in a relationship when things go
Pear-shaped.
sour. Go pear-shaped, yeah, go sour.
Some people call it the 7-year itch. It tends to happen around the 7-year mark. Or midlife.
Yeah, so
crisis.
midlife. And midlife crisis can also mean when people are worried about their own mortality. So they suddenly realise, I've been young, now I'm in that sort of I'm getting older stage. And we're both in that. We're both in our 40s and 50s.
I think that means that we're not going to go through another midlife crisis. I think we've been there, done that.
No, we both had our midlife crisis already, haven't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank goodness.
Thank goodness for that. Tell us about your midlife crisis.
Oh, good.
Put Bec on the spot. What happened to you that made a big change?
So now that I can see that, I think I probably got stuck in some of those stages in that relationship, and was very young anyway when I entered that relationship, maybe a bit immature. The reason why often people find themselves in a midlife crisis is they have got stuck in one of those other stages.
Yeah. They haven't moved forward in their relationship.
And they haven't worked through it together.
Yeah. Yeah, they're stuck in conflict, so they never really work through the conflict properly.
Yeah, or any of the stages.
They don't trust each other.
Oh, yeah, or they just might not be going on the same path.
And they haven't had a conversation, so they don't really know that.
Yeah. I had a massive midlife crisis, massive.
Come on, share.
Where do I even start?
Where do you even start? Was it the realisation for you, when I see it from outside, was it realisation that what you were doing was not what you wanted to be doing?
Yeah. I think I ended my relationship in a really poor way, which some people do at this midlife crisis stage, which was have an affair.
But that was you trying to get out of a relationship, wasn't
it?
You knew that if you did this, it wasn't just a relationship, it was a religion as well.
Yeah. And I think there was obviously a subconscious thought pattern that was is this lifestyle for me anymore? I don't know if this lifestyle is for me anymore. Do I believe this? Because I was in a religion where it's very much your life.
You can't think outside of that. You can't do outside
it's very
of that.
insular.
You don't have friends outside of that.
It's very controlling. It's very much your life. And I think maybe prior to this, I thought maybe this isn't for me. And that was my out of the relationship and the religion. And that was my massive midlife crisis. What about you?
I remember I was probably 45, 46, and my mum died. And she was only 71. She was pretty young. And she went from really good to not in a short period of time. And I thought to myself, wow, things just happen. You can die just like that. And I've been a teacher for years, and probably 10, 11 years. And then I went, do I want to still be a teacher? And it was no, I don't want to be a teacher anymore. This lifestyle, this way of doing things doesn't suit me. It's in a box. This is the way you do it. And I don't think like that or work like that. And I left, and that was my midlife crisis, just saying, right, I throw caution to the wind and I will jump and see where I land. And it worked out well, because I actually think when I started following the thing I really wanted, then everything worked out.
That's when you started your own business.
This one, I left teaching and started my own business, and then that business grew, and in that business I got to be more of myself. So I did less of what other people told me to do, and I did more of what I thought was the right thing for me. And that then made me happier, and that means that the sort of ripple effect of everything.
Yeah, that's less destructive.
Much less destructive.
Good.
Very destructive in the past.
This is where people might relate to things that send them down the path of midlife crisis or disconnected. Destructive behaviour where their relationship might end at this point.
They might not be in a headspace for a relationship anymore. They're I'm bored with whatever's happening for me now. I'm going to move on.
Trying to find it elsewhere.
I want to go back to stage 1.
Yeah.
I want to go back to passion.
Yeah. And what are some things that cause people to feel like this? Is they might feeling like life is meaningless, feeling a dissatisfaction of one situation, which might be where you were at.
Yeah, I think I was feeling unfulfilled.
Yep, a sense of lost opportunities in life, a regret for the decisions that they've made in the past.
Yeah,
or not.
because they're in a space where they've been doing the same thing probably for enough years to go, this is not me.
Yeah.
Why am I here? What do I
Why
need
am
to
I
do?
still doing this?
Why am I still doing this? Or what do I need to, I don't even know what to do to get out of this.
You can be interwound in a situation quite deeply like I was, and to get out of that is really hard, or change that.
That was a massive, like your story of having to leave that religion, to me is mind-boggling.
Yeah, well, even if I, with the partner, said to him at the time, I don't want this religion anymore, that would have been really hard for him because that's his life and all the family's life. So that would have separated us anyway. There might be childhood issues that they've never dealt with. That would be a big one.
And if you have these childhood issues, because I think childhood issues come up in a relationship because your relationship with your mother and father somehow becomes an aspect of the relationship between you and your partner. Positives is that, but if you don't work through the negative stuff, and that becomes resentment, things you don't like about each other.
They'll start to manifest themselves at some point if you haven't dealt with them. Realising that you're getting older and feeling that you must be adventurous before it's too late.
When you're working flat out and your body changes, you're not as fit as you used to be. You used to be easily fit, and now you're not as easily fit. So your behaviour changes as well.
I think this one would probably be one for me. Confusion over who you are and what you want to be in life.
If you get to your 40s or your 50s and you've been doing the main thing in your life, say work, and you've been doing it for other people, like it's to make money for family or to, so your parents are proud of you or any other reason apart from the thing that you really like doing, you're going to realise it, aren't you? And that hits hard. Those sort of things happen in people's 40s and 50s. I can see that's like further on. And now they're going to go, well, what? What do I do? And sometimes that can be very destructive, as you say. They can just like leave the family and go.
Yeah.
And then go off, I'm just going to go and be into my own life. And that's happened because nothing's been dealt with in the past.
Look, and apparently this is a really normal part of life.
I'm so glad to hear that.
And I'm sure everyone out there does. And there's probably someone sitting out there going, oh, friggin' hell. Should I buy that convertible? Should I leave my partner?
Maybe.
Should I become a skydiver professionally?
Yes, you definitely should. That's always a yes.
So apparently this is really normal. But if a couple has successfully negotiated the previous 5 stages...
So they would have to have navigated passion, discovery, conflict, commitment, and then cooperation.
Yeah, and if they have successfully navigated those 5 stages, they should be able to support each other in this really emotionally confusing phase.
Yeah, because you've got each other's backs, haven't you? You're like, and you know each other because you've been having conversations throughout your life about what you need. So you see what's going on and you can go, I can be there for you.
Yeah. And you can smoothly, without making any major life changes, navigate it together. I didn't successfully do.
But you weren't connected though.
Yeah.
You weren't deeply connected with him. You did not have deep conversations. You didn't move through conflict. Like you said, you avoided it.
Yeah.
So you'd never moved into your part of relationship where that's actually a possibility.
And we were clearly going on very different paths.
So you'd never moved out of that stage. And isn't that interesting that if you get stuck in a stage, that affects everything else that happens. You don't get to get away with it. If you don't move through the stages of a relationship successfully, positively, then your relationship just won't work. What's really interesting, we've been having a conversation about that as we started doing this podcast and going, all right, what will we do? We'll do 7 stages of a relationship. What are they? And reading it and going, oh yeah, that's that part and that's that part, and seeing it in this relationship, but then seeing it in past relationships and realizing that at all other relationships, it's got stuck at a certain point in that stage. I think for me, a lot of them was the early stages.
Yeah,
I didn't
myself
go.
Too.
It's that interesting part that when you can look at your relationship and sort of break it down and go, oh, whatever's happening for us is actually happening for everybody.
Yeah.
This is not abnormal.
And this is really good to be aware of, because I think it's like when as a child or a baby grows, they have to go through certain stages to develop mentally. If they miss a stage like crawling, that actually does affect them emotionally and mentally. I think that shows you that this is really important to be aware of and mindful that there are different stages. And then you might be able to navigate them better too if you're aware of them.
And that's an interesting point about the fact that this is going to happen to all of us. So no matter who you're with, it doesn't matter who this person is in your life, you are 2 people coming together and there is a dance that happens in that.
Yeah.
And how you move through that and how you dance together and the communication that happens in the dance. You dance with each other.
Yeah.
And you help each other grow. then you move through the stages. You stop giving to the other person is probably you stop giving to yourself, isn't it?
That's right.
There needs to be a conversation. You need to be able to see if you can find a way to connect again.
Yeah. So you can get to this healthy life stage that we're going to talk about.
This very healthy life stage. So thank you so much for listening.
Please join us next time
for stage 7, completion.
Thanks for listening. Please subscribe and follow us.
And check out our website at rekindlingrelationships.com.
Bye for now.
See ya.